Have you ever had a terrible first Tinder date? Or if so, then stick around and find out how you can potentially have a better one in the future. G'day guys, Steve here from dudehack.com, and if this is your first time here, Dudehack is your personal online dating or Tinder coach, aiming to get you more matches without any of the manipulative tricks. So, if you're someone that wants more matches, more conversations, more dates without being a douchebag, you're in the right place. Now, before we get into this, I have some very exciting news. My new ebook, Tinder Hacked 2018, has launched. If you jump down into the description, you'll see the link to dudehack.com/Tinder_hacked. That is where you will find the information about the foolproof guide to Tinder, not for fuckwits. If you are just a normal guy and you do want a foolproof guide to Tinder, this is for you. If you're someone who has no idea what you're doing, this is for you. If you're somebody who has a pretty decent solid game already, but you want a few tips here and there, this book is for you. Check it out. So recently I did a video on the 2 different kinds of dates that people should go on to sort of suit their personality. I'll pop it up here. I think I got the side right that time. I'll pop it up there and basically go back, watch that video, and you can find out which one of those 2 dates do relate to you, and it's a little bit more broad. But this video today is going to be talking about 5 different dates that you should definitely avoid at all costs. But the worst thing about it is people go on these dates all the time. Now just remember, this video is talking about Tinder first dates. I guarantee there is definitely some of you guys watching that have taken your matches on one of these dates, or even better, you're about to go on a date and you're thinking of going on one of these. Just trust me when I say that in 2018, these types of dates are way better saved, either for down the line a little bit or just completely avoid them altogether. So without any further ado, let's jump into these 5 dates that you should definitely avoid as a Tinder first date. Number 1, the movies. Now, the movies used to be my favorite date spot when I was 13. I've spoken a little bit about it in a previous video talking about this activity dates, how using this activity date as a distraction can work very well if you are someone who's really nervous or struggles to think of things to talk about. But we're not talking about 2 hours sitting next to each other in complete silence. Now, if you really think about it, the only times that you would actually have to really get to know your match is either when you're lining up for the tickets or when you're actually sitting through the trailers. So remember, our goal should be getting to know your match. Sitting next to each other, a ruler width apart, in complete silence, probably isn't the best way to go. Number 2, a club. Who takes their match to a club as a first date? I've heard it before. I've heard the excuses. They want to show their fun side or whatnot. Just no, don't do it. Now, I don't know about you, but I hate it when you are in a place with super loud music, like a club or whatever, and you are struggling to hear the person that you're speaking to. Imagine that was your first date and you're trying to find out information about them to see if you guys will hit it off. I know I sound like a boring old man saying that, but just trust me, if you love clubbing, sweet, save it for at least the second time, just not the first. Number 3, the mall. Now, I always feel weird saying the mall. Us Australians, we generally will just say a shopping center or something, but whatever. I think we know what we mean. So on one side, this is just boring and unoriginal. But on the second, waiting around clothing stores and holding her bags and that sort of shit is what you do when you've been dating for like years. You see the guys sitting on the couches all around the mall and they look depressed as fuck. They hate it. Don't jump into this your very first date Number 4, your own party. Now this one happens way more than I would have thought, and it actually really surprised me when I learned how many people bloody do this. But I sort of get it. Hopping into that person's thinking for a second. You have a party coming up, you think, what a perfect opportunity to sort of show myself off in peak social mode, show off, all my friends and how popular I am to this Tinder date. I'll invite a match along as a date to my party. Now think about any time that you've been dating someone and met their friends. It's pretty daunting. It's not an easy thing to do. You're a little bit, nervous. You want to make a good first impression. Now imagine your match not only invited you to meet her friends, but she invited you to meet every single freaking one of them at her party. That's pretty full on. Put yourself in your match's shoes, realize that, inviting her over to your party, it's probably a pretty damn daunting task for her. Seriously, if someone I was speaking to on Tinder said, for the first date, come meet 50 of my friends, that's a shit that nightmares are made out of. I would not do that. And also just think about it, like, you don't want to invite someone around to your party that you don't really know that you're going to hit it off with. Imagine you invite someone, you don't quite click, they're a bit weird or, a bit annoying, they're following you around, and your whole night is focused on entertaining that person. You at least owe them that if you've gone and invited them. So you could potentially ruin your night at the party as well. Just don't do it. Full stop. And number 5, going to SeaWorld or the zoo. Now I've spoken about this in another video before, and that was sort of relating to tigers. A lot of people taking touristy overseas photos with tigers and lions and whatnot. I'll pop a link up to that video on that side. Now, at the end of the day, full stop, anything involving animals in captivity probably isn't great. Here in Australia, things are pretty good. There's a lot of breeding programs and things like that. So before you jump on me, look, I understand, yes, there is a place for some zoos and whatnot, but some of these establishments, mainly so SeaWorld and things like that, are just downright cruel. Now, more and more people are growing increasingly aware of the cruelty that goes down in these kinds of places. So you just don't want to, I guess, really turn your match off with suggesting a place like this, but more importantly, more than anything, you don't want to support these cruel places. Now, I know that some of you are probably thinking, yeah, Steve, these dates are pretty fucking obvious that they're bad. Why would you need to tell us these? Well, trust me, a lot of the guys that I speak to, a lot of my clients still make these mistakes. I was still going on a couple of these dates a few years back, and I had to learn the hard way with some of these. So trust me when I say these 5 dates, as obvious as some of them might seem, you'd be surprised how many people still do them. Stay away. And yes, the second thing is pretty much all of these dates would be acceptable for a second, third, fourth date, so that's fine, except for SeaWorld and the cruel shit. Just remember, these dates are definitely dates you should avoid on your first date, when you are really trying to just get to know that person and see if you guys click. So that wraps it up there, folks. Those are 5 different dates that you should definitely avoid. But there is plenty more, trust me. I am going to be bringing you in the next coming days 5 more dates that you should avoid, but I'm also going to tell you some dates that you can go on. Now, I said at the start of this video, my book is out. That is right, I have finished it, it's up, it's looking good. I might pop up a little, graphic or picture of it somewhere. But guys, go to the description in this video. Go to the description down there, click on the link that says Tinder Hat. That will take you to the page where you can check out a little bit of the information about this 255 page book I've put together. I like to call it Tinder Hat 2018, the foolproof guide to Tinder, not for fuckwits. That's because it doesn't include any of those manipulative tricks or copy and paste crap that you get from the fake gurus. I am going to and trying to teach you step by step, start to finish, how you can do it yourself. If that sounds like something that might tickle your fancy, then please go give it a look. Go into the description, click that link, let it load up, have a read with your eyes, and yeah, let's go from there. Now, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. I've been a little bit busy the last couple of days, making sure everything's nice and ready for the book launch, but I'm back at it. I'm gonna be bringing you these videos very regularly, so subscribe so you can see those videos come out. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you wanna ask me anything at all, just leave it down in the comments. I'll get back to every single one of them. But guys, until next time, I shall see you later.